Welcome to the Helix webinar series. Today's session is going to be on BMC HelixGPT Insight Finder. We're going to cover it as an introduction today, and joining me as a presenter is Graham Cole, one of our digital CSM leads. Before he starts his introduction, just a couple of reminders, those that are new to Zoom. You have a Q&A section at the bottom of your screen. If you do have any questions during this session, we are joined by Nikhil, our product manager, who covers Insight Finder and also Helix dashboards. And we're also joined by Tarun, who works in the development team. So both of them will be on hand to answer the questions. And then we will have roughly 15 minutes at the end where we'll take some of your questions live. So Graham, I'm really excited to hand the reins over to you to get us started. So over to you.
Great. Yeah, thanks, Sam. Hello, everyone. And as Sam said, we're going to be covering HelixGPT Insight Finder today. My name's Graham Cole, and I'm part of the digital CSM team based out of the UK. And over the next 30 to 40 minutes, we're going to run through BMC HelixGPT Insight Finder. And we're going to look at how it's transforming the ways that teams are interacting with data. So it's going to be an exciting session today. Okay, so this is the agenda that we're going to cover today. We're going to have a high-level view of BMC Helix agentic AI strategy. Give you a bit of context into that. An introduction into BMC Helix GPT Insight Finder. Going to go through a demo of how it's used and different personas and how different parts of the organization can use it. And then there's going to be a call to action, a CTA, what next for you all as our customers. And we're going to go through the workshop offerings and the next steps to get you involved. So it doesn't matter, whether you're in IT operations or service management or even business leadership. The session, it's designed to show you how Insight Finder can help you basically save time and move faster. So let's have a look at the bigger picture and how Insight Finder, it's part of BMC Helix service operations, and it's powered by Helix GPT. So this is our agentic AI platform, and it's designed to bring together AI, Gen AI, and automation. And this is all going to help drive intelligent service operations. So it's not just about dashboards, it's about enabling everyone in your organization to ask questions and get answers and to take action quickly and, importantly, without the need of being a data expert. And many of you will probably know that, our Helix GPT AI fabric, it leverages agentic AI. And what that allows us to do is it delivers a connected end-to-end service ops conversational experience. So it enhances the way that users experience by allowing employees to ask basic questions. As an example, what is my organization's holiday or vacation policy? Something as straightforward as that. And it also provides real-time summaries for help desk agents and SREs. For example, it can explain that a banking application is slow due to network switch dropping packets. It knows what's going on. It can be proactive and obviously incredibly useful and helpful. It also analyzes historical incidents and knowledge base articles, and that allows Helix GPT to recommend the best course of action. And it does that by using predefined workbooks or even automated workflows. These automations can also be executed manually or autonomously to help with self-healing. But if there's no automation existing, the Helix GPT, it will generate remediation plans, code and workflows, all to speed up to a prompt resolution. And it also uses historical data trends, which allows it to predict future issues. Again, such as network failures impacting a banking application on a first Monday of every month. It can start to see patterns and it can alert you and be proactive. And also integrating AI-driven automation and predictive intelligence, Helix GPT, it can transform service ops. And the key thing is it reduces manual effort and it enhances overall operational efficiency. So this slide, it's going to show it basically BMC Helix. It's the only open first agentic AI platform for service ops, and that allows it to unlock human potential, which is key in everyone's industry today. And it's built for services and operational organizations as well as IT leaders. One of the challenges is, IT leadership needs to manage service performance across an ever-changing IT landscape, which we all know about, with tightened budgets and team sizes that are not necessarily getting bigger. They're always under pressure. So it frees up enterprise IT and it allows it to tackle high impact and high value work. And the agentic AI will eliminate all of those mundane tasks, which, can be difficult for people to do. And it allows you to redirect the skills in your organization to be hitting and working on the high impact and high visual issues that you might be encountering. It's also, and this is key, it's containerized. It's a containerized platform. So what that means, it means that you have a choice of your deployment, whether it's Google Cloud Platform, Amazon Web Services, for example, and it allows you to maximize what credits you might already have with those other organizations. It can also improve the efficiency and lower the costs, allowing you to bring in your own AI, which means that you can use any discounts you might already have, or company strategies that you've already got in place. It's also going to help maximizing value from your cloud and your AI investments. And BMC Helix, we make it easy to allow you to bring your own AI and bring your own data approach. It's going to allow your organizations to work within your own environments and your own user interface, using the different integrations such as enterprise collaboration tools like Microsoft Teams. So it's designed to fit seamlessly into your organization, which obviously makes life a lot easier for you and your staff. The other thing is BMC Helix, it's open, it's flexible AI architecture, and it allows it to deliver measurable productivity gains. So you get time to value quickly and you can see your fast return on investment. BMC Helix will also fuel enterprise-wide operational efficiency whilst reducing complexity. So we have designed and distributed our agentic agents across 4 dimensions of service ops, as you can see in this slide. So Insight Finder, which is obviously what we're talking about today, it drops into two of those areas of those dimensions. The first one being service management, and the second one at the bottom being AI ops. So this is where Insight Finder comes in. It's a very, very powerful agent, and it's designed to help staff and to help your teams create, redefine, and share dashboards from BMC Helix ITSM and BMC Helix AI Ops. And it uses natural language, which is really important. There's no code, there's no delay, there's just results. And the key thing is, you might already know this, but if not, it's important to understand it's already part of your entitlement for all of your SaaS subscriptions. So let's have a look. This is an example, and we're going to go through a video example so you can see it in even more detail. But I'm just going to give you some high-end screenshots of what it looks like and what kind of thing it can do. So if we set the scene, you're managing a complex IT estate. You've got hybrid cloud, microservices, legacy systems. You've got monitoring tools everywhere. But then when something goes wrong, we've all been there, it's a bit of a scramble to piece everything together. And, everyone's going to be under pressure to get feedback back up the chain within your organization. And this is something that we're seeing across so many organizations. Doesn't matter whether you're in the financial world or whether you're in public sector or telco, everyone is facing the same challenge. And we know this because we're all in tech. There's too much data and there's not enough insight. So the complication, or one of the complications, is that dashboards, which are tools that are supposed to help us and help visualize what's going on, they can often be part of the problem. because they're hard to build and they're harder to maintain, and they usually require someone who knows the right query language and is on top of everything within the organization. And we know that that's going to cause delays. It's going to cause change risk. It's going to make decisions slower. And then when a P1 or a SEV1 incident comes in, you're left waiting on one or two people to pull that data, build the chart, interpret the results, which we know all takes time. And it's time that when we're in that P1, SEV1 state, we don't always have that kind of time. So you can see it coming. This is where Insight Finder can help, and it comes in and it changes that whole outlook. Because it's AI powered, it lets you build dashboards by simply asking questions. And as I say, we'll cover the demo in a little while. At its core, Insight Finder, it's designed to make every service and operation manager feel like a data analyst if you're not already, without needing to be one. You don't need to know how to code, you don't need to build complex dashboards, and you certainly don't need a data science team sitting next to you in the office. It's all powered by a clever AI approach called React, which basically means it doesn't just respond, but it reasons. It understands what you're asking. It figures out what data it needs. It takes action, and then it adjusts based on what it finds. It's, as I say, it's like having somebody sitting next to you in the office, a sharp assistant that knows your systems inside out, and it can provide you very quick responses and answers. So some of the things it can do, it can change chart types. You can add filters. You can ask follow-up questions. You can combine multiple views into one dashboard. And it's the key thing is here, it's designed for everybody. So here's another example of a dashboard, and what kind of thing it can help you with. How does it? It actually helps you build the dashboard. Everybody knows what a pain it is waiting for somebody to build a chart, or even to make it look decent or look presentable to senior leadership or to end customers. And all of that slows the process down. However, if we use an Insight Finder, you just ask it, you literally type what you want. So you could say, show me all the incidents from last week, and bang, within a few seconds, it's done exactly that. It's put it on a dashboard for you. There's no fiddling, there's no messing around with filters and dates. You literally ask it the question. So it's quick, which is really, really important. And then it chooses automatically, well, depending on what you ask it, it will choose the best visualization. So if it thinks that a pie chart makes more sense than a bar graph, that's what it'll do for you. It'll present it in that format. However, the key thing to remember is that you, as the owner and the user, you can adjust it. If you don't like the look of it, you can say, change it to a bar graph, and that's what it'll do. You can add filters, you can ask follow-up questions. The key thing here is that all of the heavy work underneath, it's already been done. You're just, as the user, moving things around, making sure that the information you're going to present looks good or is being presented to you is easy to understand. So ultimately, all of that, means that we got faster decisions. There's less back and forth between different departments, different people. You're not dependent on one or two people. You can really get stuck in and do it on your own using the AI. So here's another question that's often come up. What if you don't even know what to ask it? So, I mean, I know it's fairly basic, but it's important. So Insight Finder, it's actually got a recommendation prompt for you. So it doesn't just wait for you to ask the perfect question. It helps you figure out. And you can see in this example on the right-hand side, it's come down with 3 or 4 different options. It's going, well, maybe you want this, or maybe you could do with this. So again, it's like having somebody in next to you that knows knows your systems inside out, and has been working on them for years, and he's saying, oh, have you thought about asking this, or what about that? The key thing is the prompts that it suggests, it's helping you uncover the things that you might not have spotted on your own. And because it's driven by AI, it's not biased by human assumptions or limited by what somebody thinks you should be looking at. So it's objective, it's fast, and it's tailored to what you need. Okay, so this is important. If we look at when BMC Helix started to put together Insight Finder, it started to get built on code 25.2. However, things move on, as we all know, and we realized that some things were limited on 25.2. So as we've moved on to 25.3, code version 25.3, there's been a huge move forward. It's easier to onboard. It offers a much broader service ops coverage, and it's extending beyond service management into IT operations. And it also now supports Azure Open AI 4.1 and Google Gemini Flash 2.0. And ultimately, I know it's not always easy, but this is where we're recommending. We can run 25.2, that's fine, but our recommendation is 25.3, and we can help you if you're not on that level. We can help you upgrade on that to that level. So briefly, going to look at 4 different personas or 4 different people that you might have in your organization. So if we look at the business service owner, what are their priorities and how can Insight Finder help them? So ultimately, their kind of priority and focus is on service health, customer satisfaction, and strategic alignment. And what Insight Finder will be able to give that business service owner is a strategic lens that allows them to manage the service reliability, responsiveness, and business critical problem areas. What about a change manager? What's the change manager's priorities? Governance, traceability, and risk mitigation. These are the key things for that change manager. And Insight Finder is going to help strengthen that governance, and it does that by providing detailed tracking of change timing, of risk levels, of product impact, and completion rates in a simple format. Service desk manager, what are their key drivers? Operational visibility and prioritization. These are the key drivers for a service desk manager. IT operation lead. The goal of the IT ops lead is operational resilience and efficiency. And again, Insight Finder, it's going to drive operational resilience through basically proactive planning, systematic issue detection, proactive detection, and infrastructure visibility. So everybody, each of these different personas is going to see a different value in Insight Finder. So it's a tool that's there for everybody in the organization. But ultimately, together, it forms a unified view of the service health, the operation efficiency, and the strategic alignment. So we're going to run onto a demo now, a video demonstration where we've got Ann Carter, who is going to just run through some of the examples of how to use Insight Finder. So I'm just going to move on to that now.
Hello everyone. In this video, you're going to see a demo on HelixGPT Insight Finder agent and how it helps different IT personas such as incident, problem, or change manager, service desk manager, IT operations lead, or service owner to quickly create dashboards for BMC Helix ITSM and BMC Helix AIOps. Let's begin by launching Helix dashboards from our Helix portal. Once you have configured HelixGPT Insights Finder agent in HelixGPT and connected it with a large language model, you will see Insights Finder added in the navigation menu in the right-hand side panel here, as you see here. To begin the conversation with Insights Finder, just click here on HelixGPT Insight Finder and start typing your question in the conversational interface. As explained earlier in the presentation, Insights Finder supports 2 major use cases: generate dashboards and generated recommended prompts for your operational needs. In today's demo, we are going to explore both the use cases through the creation and visualization of data for incident, problem, and changes. Let's begin with our first query, which is I'm going to write a very simple query: show a breakdown of incidents by status. Now, while Insights Finder is generating this visualization, let me explain you what is really happening behind the scenes. First, the Insight Finder agent will try to break down the query to understand user's intent and invoke respective sub-agents for ITSM, either for ITSM or AIOps or both, based on the nature of the query. As Insight Finder agent, it understands the schema of the different tables and data types, it will validate if the query can be answered or if the agent needs more information. After performing that validation, it builds appropriate SQL query and send it to Helix Dashboard or Grafana plugins for visualization. And as you can see on the screen, it will create the best suited visualization based on your input query. You can also order it by sending or descending values of the ticket count in the respective incident status. Or you can ask agent to change the visualization to a bar chart instead by simply prompting show as pie chart instead. Once you're happy with your visualization, you can click on New Topic to start building your next visualization. Since Insights Finder is a React agent with memory, so it remembers the context and conversation history within the topic you're in, so you don't need to repeat your query with each input. Now let's ask agent another query. So I'm going to just type it in, copy and paste it here. Show incident details with work logs for critical priority incidents. So I want to see incident details for all the critical priority incidents with their work log entries. As you can see here, the agent picked tabular visualization, which is best suited to present this information. And it has also provided some default set of fields which are most common for this kind of query. We can ask it to add more fields here by just saying add things like add urgency and impact, and it's going to update the same table with urgency impact fields as well. You can also ask it to remove any field if you would like. Now, to understand the difference in the selection of fields which the agent is using in different visualizations, let me ask it another query as well. So this time I'm going to ask it to show me the incident details including submit date and responded date for incidents which are submitted in the past 6 months. So now agent is going to process this request and it's going to bring us another visualization. And as you can see here, it has brought up tabular visualization again with very reduced set of fields. So this time it's already picked incident description, submit date, and responded date, and it did not pick up other information. So this shows that based on the input query, the agent tries to understand the intent and also uses IT domain-specific semantics to provide you with the best suited visualization format for your query. So now let's go ahead and ask agent to recommend us ways of analyzing different incident data by priority. Now, here you will see that it's going to again look at the different options, how we can do this analysis, and it has presented me with 4 different options to calculate the number of incidents by priority levels, which can help me understanding the distribution of incidents. You can look at the average resolution time for incidents based on different priority levels to see how efficiently the incident management process is being handled by agents. You can see that calculate the percentage of incidents which are resolved within the service level targets for each respective priority levels to see evaluate the SLA compliance. Here I'm going to select the third one, which is most interesting. I think one of the most interesting metrics for service desk agent or service desk manager, also incident manager as well. This is one of the critical service targets for most of the organizations. So it has presented us this for every priority, how many total number of incidents were there and how many resolved within the SLA target and the percentage. Now let's try another analytical query, show incident management trends. So I'm just going to copy paste that. And now you can see that it has again given me a bunch of options to generate a query to display the total number of incidents over reported date. So I'm just going to pick one of them. So here, for example, I think I would like to have them MTTR since we are talking about SLA. So let's proceed with talking about MTTR, which is another critical metric for incident manager and IT operations owner as well. Let's see if we get add time series data. And as you can see here, I clicked on zoom to data so that it loads data now. And if you want to see the query type, that how this has been calculated, you can just click on query, and here you can see the query which it has, how it has built the query to present this information. Now let's move on to explore some of the reports in problem management domain as well. So now let's ask to display the total number of problem investigations in the system. So now as you see, it has added a statistical visualization panel on our dashboard. We can ask it show the list of problem investigation with average time to resolution based on how, when it was completed and submitted. And I'm going to add a column, assignee group, and it has immediately added one of the assigned groups as well, which group it has been assigned to. Now let's ask a little bit analytical query again. Now, show the expected time to resolve problems for each status. So now it has again asked me a clarification question that how would I want to calculate the resolution time for each status. So I'm going to give it another query this time, a little bit more elaborated query. So based on difference between submit date and target resolution date. Now I can see that this is the expected resolution time by investigation. So as you can see here, the visualization displays the expected time it takes to resolve each problem in each investigation status. Now let's add a couple of panels for change management metrics as well. Let's begin with this query to show a breakdown of changes grouped by assignee group. Okay, and this came up with a really simple data point with only one assignment group. So let's ask about change management analysis instead of trends, which we did earlier. And here we can see suggestions on how to analyze different change management metrics to get some overall process improvement. I'm going to just pick one of them, which shows impact and urgency for the changes, impacting the decisions in change management. Now let's ask the agent for the count of risky changes and see if it understands the query. And I get the count of risky changes directly. Looking at the explanation for this visualization, it shows the count of changes which have a risk level of 3 and 4. Now I want to ask the agent to show me the count of changes which are performed this month because of the incidents which were created in the past 3 months, which is a fairly common ask in IT operations. And I do not have any data. There are no incidents, but it's a pretty strong metric to be seen in operations. Now let's proceed with saving this dashboard and give it a name and put it in a folder. So I'm going to give it a name, operations dashboard demo, and I will put it in just additional dashboards for now. You can create your own new folder and save your dashboards there. Now let's have a look at our dashboard now. And you can see it here. So that's the end of our demo. You saw that with Insights Finder, you're no longer reacting to data. You're leveraging AI-driven intelligence to predict, prevent, and resolve issues faster. Insights Finder empowers your teams to make data-driven decisions and improve service reliability and deliver exceptional digital experience now more than ever. Hello, everyone.
Well, okay, great. So I think that demo is, well, I mean, it's fantastic. You can really see the power of Insight Finder, and the power of the data, and it puts it in everyone's hands. And you can see how each of the personas that we went through earlier, how they can use Insight Finder. It's a faster time to insight, reduced resilience on technical specialists, which is really important. It allows your teams to become more self-reliant and to act decisively, and ultimately better service outcomes for your customers, which is ultimately what we're all trying to do. And the thing to remember is, because Insight Finder it's all part of the broader agentic AI ecosystem, it integrates seamlessly with all of the other Helix agents that we can provide. So it gives you a unified, intelligent, and a scalable approach to service ops. Really important. So prior to actually activating Insight Finder, which I'm sure everyone will want to do now, we've seen that, and we've been through these slides and we've seen the demo. There's a few prereqs that we need to follow. First of all, familiarity with BMC Helix dashboards. whether you typically build against service management or service operations data. It's not essential, but it will help you get to value faster. And second, as I mentioned earlier, you need to be on a minimum code of 25.2. As I mentioned before, though, we'd recommend starting at 25.3 if you can expand it, because it provides better coverage across service ops, and it just makes onboarding a little bit smoother. However, if you're on 25.2, it'll still, you can still use it. It's just a slightly narrower data set scope. The next thing you'll need to have your own active LLM subscriptions. So if you're on 25.2, we BMC Helix will support Azure OpenAI GPT 4.0. With 25.3, we add Azure GPT 4.1, and we also introduce Vertex Gemini Flash 2.0. So ultimately, it's going to be a faster response, better quality, better interactions, and flexibility. So just very briefly, I'm going to summarize, because I know there's been a lot of information today. I'm just going to try and bring it all together, and just run through what we've looked at today for BMC HelixGPT Insight Finder. What it can do, it helps you move from data to decision quickly without any hassle, without waiting, and without the need for a degree in a data science. And it's not just another dashboard tool. It is literally like having a data analyst on call 24/7. So you ask the question in plain English or whatever your native language is, something as simple as, show me all the critical incidents from last week. An Insight Finder, as you've seen, it'll build those dashboards for you, and you can tweak it, you can filter it, you can ask follow-up questions, change the chart type, and it's all straightforward through natural language. So it doesn't matter whether you're on the service desk or managing change or leading operations, as we saw with the different personas. Insight Finder, it's going to give you the insight that everybody needs to be able to act confidently and decisively. And the other important thing is, because it's part of the agentic AI ecosystem, it's going to sync up with all of the other Helix agents. So you can get a joined up, intelligent service ops experience that grows and scales with you. So in short, Insight Finder, it's going to help you get answers quicker, smarter, and free up time to allow your teams to focus on some of the other crucial issues and what might matter and becomes more important. So hopefully, after you've seen and listened to everything today, you're going to have some interest about what next, how do we get involved, how do we get it started. So the next thing, we'd like to invite everybody to one of the upcoming workshops, the Insight Finder workshops. It's hands-on, it's interactive, and it's designed to help everybody get the most out of Insight Finder. So just 4 different parts, what kind of things you're going to learn: initial configuration and setup, what actually is Insight Finder and when do you use it, prompting and promoting best practices, and adoption in daily operations, examples of when you'd use it. So if you are interested, and hopefully you are, you can, to get registered, all you need to do is send an email to the success@bmc.com inbox. Or alternatively, you can reach out to your BMC Helix account manager, or if you have a designated or a dedicated CSM or a HAA, you can also contact them, and they'll be able to get you signed up. So hopefully you've enjoyed the session today. Thanks again for everyone for joining. Let's keep this going. We know it's really useful. It's a fantastic tool, and hopefully many of you will be able to sign up for the workshop. So thank you very much.
Okay, Graham, I think it's back over to me. So just
thanks,
a
Sam.
quick promo again. I know some of you, I have seen some familiar faces and names on today that came to the London event, and I can also see a couple of Swedish names. So I suspect you may have gone to Stockholm Roadshow last week. We are now well into halfway. Sao Paulo is happening as we speak today. And then we've also got a couple more roadshows coming up. So if you do know any of your colleagues in any of these regions, when I do send the thank you email out with all the content today, which should hopefully be in the next 24 to 48 hours, please do click the link and have a look what's coming up with all the other roadshows if you can make those. Obviously, whilst we think digital is great because we can get these events out to you much quicker, it's even better when you're in person. So we would love to see you at some of the events. It's also where a lot of our product managers will be attending. We also have customer stories as well, and it's a great way to connect. The other thing we do have is an ask is Gartner's quite important for BMC Helix. And I know a lot of our product managers, when I try to rally around to ask them to come and do webinars, often they'll be telling me they're working on a Gartner report or something for our industry standards. So it's important if you've got any feedback, we would love to hear from you. For it to be actually posted and published, Gartner will give you gift cards. So you'll see that there's a couple of leave a review notes down at the bottom. Certainly for the purpose of today's session, the first one would be more applicable. So the AI applications in ITSM. And there are also other options if you do have other products that you use from us. So we'd love to get your feedback. It's not a mandate, but if you do have time, please fill that in. Again, if you don't have time now, we will be sharing out these slides. We will be sharing out the recording for those that have asked today and all of the content. And the other bonus is, because we're running these sessions, there's 5 of them. We have 2 more coming up. If you do have colleagues that would prefer to hear this in Portuguese, then we have a session on Thursday. And then we also have a Spanish session tomorrow, which will be at 4 o'clock British time. So it's a little bit later in the day. But again, some people want it in native language. So hopefully we can get across all of your teams. With that, I'm now going to move us over to the Q&A. I know that our team, Graham, have been very, very busy, which is exactly what I was hoping for. Lots of questions that come in, and the great news is we will put all the Q&A together. We had quite a considerable amount last week. I will be building the Q&A blog post as and when the sessions happen, so we will add the questions from today. So Nikhil, Tarun, I can see there's still a few in the Q&A right now. There is a question that's come up, which I don't know if you've got to yet. Just someone mentioning about the objective and not driven by human assumption. The statement is false with LLM. So I don't know if you want to just maybe reach out and update on that conversation. I believe it was a previous question that came up. I don't know, Nikhil, if you can help with that one.
Yes, we can address, maybe we can connect offline. We don't know who this question came from, but if they can reach out to me later, I can respond to them.
Okay, so I'll just put please share details and I'll connect you together. Okay, next question, and James, I will come and find if you are still here, because it's always nice to speak to someone live. If you do want to come off mute, I can see you're still on. You were just asking about the ability to use metadata. Do you want to just elaborate a little bit?
Yeah, can you hear me?
We can, and hello.
Hi. Yeah, basically, ever since we've had Helix, we've been wanting to use the metadata studio, but due to security issues with our IT systems, basically, we're not allowed to install Java onto our laptops. So we've never been actually able to get into the metadata studio, which is a tool that we really need to use, because a lot of people use the Visual Query Builder at the moment. And obviously that's what this is all based on, Visual Query Builder views. So without the ability to get into that, this functionality is not going to be, well, we can't use it basically. So I know that someone mentioned that the Java issue was on the roadmap, but what are the dates for that roadmap? Because this would be really useful for us. So.
Yeah, at a high level, I can tell you it's roughly in the 6 to 9 month roadmap.
Okay, thanks. So that's basically, I guess, when we'll be able to start using this properly.
Okay.
But that was it. Thanks. Yeah.
Thank you for your question, James. Okay, do we have any more questions? I think all of them have been answered up till now. If anybody does have any other questions, feel free to come off mute or raise your hand or put some questions in the Q&A. Otherwise, I'll give you some more time back. It's a record, Graham, with you. It was an hour with the last session.
I don't know if that's good or bad.
Maybe spoke a little bit
maybe I
quicker.
covered everything, so there's not as many questions. Or maybe I didn't do it well enough and there's not as many questions. I don't know, but anyway. Thank you.
Nikhil, while we are obviously waiting, because obviously you've been on a couple of sessions supporting them, was there anything else that you picked up from the previous sessions that might be useful to share some insights?
No, I can tell you that Insight Finder is easy to set up and it does not require any implementation. You don't need to hire anyone, any consultant to start using Insight Finder. There is some configuration required. And as Graham covered in the prerequisite slides, Graham, can you bring up your prerequisite slide, please?
Yep. Just go back.
So we just wanted to emphasize on the prerequisites to use Insight Finder. Firstly, you should be familiar with Helix dashboards, and the versions are important. You need to be at least on ITSM 25.2.01. If you are on 25.3, that's even better. And you should be on dashboards 25.2.01. So there are, so after this, we did release 25.3. It's important for you to be on these to be able to use Insight Finder. You bring your own model. So as soon as you have one of these two models, either OpenAI or Gemini, you can reach out to your account team. If you have a customer success manager, reach out to them or reach out to that email address. Can you go to the next slide where they can contact success at, what was that email?
BMC.com.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we are covering these workshops where roughly in a 90-minute workshop, we will help you configure Insight Finder. Once you meet all those prerequisites, we recommend that you register your interest for these workshops by sending an email to success@bmc.com. And then we'll invite you to these workshops, which will be running almost every week over the next 2 months or so. And there, in that workshop, we will help you configure Insight Finder. You'll do it yourself, but if you run into issues, we will have engineers on the call who will help you set it right. So at the end of the workshop, you will have Insight Finder configured and you'll be ready to start using it. We'll also share with you some prompts that you can start using, and then thereafter, it's up to you how you want to explore Insight Finder across all the domains that it currently supports across ITSM, digital workplace, and in upcoming releases, we'll continue to expand its coverage to business workflows and other products, both on the service management and operations management domains.
Thanks, Nikhil. The workshops are going to be starting in October. I do have the dates for those, which I'll be putting them into the same registration link that everyone's used to sign up for these events. And they will be sent out, those reminders. So we don't expect, apart from you registering your interest at the success@bmc.com, for you to do anything else. We will just let you know all those dates. And I'm working with the team as we speak. Okay, we have another question that's coming from Timoto. Is it possible to integrate with Microsoft Copilot?
I can take that. Okay, Copilot is not currently supported. At this time, we are reviewing it. Not sure at this time if we will support Copilot, but once we have a response, we'll let you know.
Thanks, Nikhil. Okay, do we have any more questions? I'll do another round. Although I think there's 28 questions that Nikhil and Tarun answered, Graham. A lot of questions.
Good. Yeah.
We'll have a lot to share with everyone today.
Great.
Okay, I'm not going to keep people on a call unnecessary, so I know quite a few have had to drop off now. Oh, one more question that's come in. I'll just take that one and then we'll finish. So Kitso asked a question, should we have the LLM subscription before we attend the workshops?
Yes, you will require this because without an LLM subscription, you cannot configure Insight Finder. So during the workshop, we'll show you exactly how to set up Agent Studio. And one of the steps is setting up a model. Unless you have the model, the API keys, the workshop will not be of any use to you because the workshop is just about configuration.